Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a plant tour video, and I decided today I'm just going to do all of the plants that I have inside my house, so more of a houseplant tour, I guess you can say. So this video is going to be a little bit more informal. I'm just going to walk around my house and just show you all the plants that I have. I don't think I have a lot of plants, or at least not as many as I would want to, because I know that staying home right now, I would definitely be buying plants like left and right, but I'm having some like self-control and like just trying to just enjoy the plants that I have now, so I don't go crazy. But yeah, I think I have a pretty decent collection. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm almost at 100, and I would just love to reach that little milestone, because I mean, why not? 100, that's great. If I get to 100, that's fine. If I can get more than that, perfect. But you know what? Let's make it to 100, you know, baby steps. Let's make it to, I think I'm at 83 right now. Let's make it to 84, guys. We can do it, 84. Don't forget to also give this video a thumbs up if you like plants and if you're excited to see all the plants that I have. And I guess with that, let's check them out. Where do I start? Okay, so I'm going to start with my little fiddly fig that I have here. I just got a new leaf, by the way, which is super exciting. And you're dusty and sunburnt, whatever. That's not sunburnt, that's overwatering, I think. This fig wasn't originally mine. This belonged to my roommate Marlena. It just wasn't doing well, and I said, you know what, let me take it in and take care of it. It had a second stalk, but it died. But that's okay, because its other brother is thriving now, finally. Like, it literally grew this leaf a couple of days ago, a week ago, last week. It was last week. Losing track of the days, I'm going crazy. So I would say that this fiddly fig is mine now. Marlena did technically buy a brand new fiddly fig, and it's outside in the living room. I'll show you that in a second. This gets a decent amount of light. It sits about 2 feet away from the window. It is on the floor, but it can still see the sky, and in the afternoon, the sun comes straight into my room. If anything, my room is like the hottest room in the house when it comes to the afternoon, but it gets a decent amount of sunlight, and if it's growing a leaf, it must be doing pretty good. So the next plant that I have in my room is my Monstera deliciosa, which is by far, I think, my favorite plant that I own. So this one's also still in its nursery pot, its little 10-inch pot. It wasn't this size, obviously, when I got it, but it was still a decent size. Most of the leaves were about like this, and now you can see it's like the size of my face, or there's some bigger ones too. I think Monsteras are really awesome. I think they're really beautiful. I think they're really sculptural. I think the fenestrations and the holes in the slits, it just looks so nice, and it's just so lush. I actually have 3 leaves growing right now. The 4th one's about to shoot out, but there's one here, there's one back there, there's another one hiding right there, if you can see that, and then this guy right here, he also is shooting out a brand new one soon. So super exciting. So I first found this plant at Home Depot, and I didn't really get it on the first try. I actually went to like 5 or 6 different Home Depots in the area just to find one, and luckily the Home Depot that I went to actually had 6 of them. So I was like, boom, awesome, hit the jackpot. I actually selected a specific one, and I kind of tucked it into the back so no one would grab it, and I was like, all right, like I have to go to school right now, but I'm gonna come back for you. And when I came back later that day, it was gone. What the heck? I basically had to choose from the other ugly ones, and this one was the least ugly. Don't worry, you're beautiful now. I love you. This plant used to be like a full 360, because this plant kind of grows like a bush. Technically more like a vine, but it just grows outwards. So I tried to trim it, and basically was able to make this like the whole backside, so that normally when it's sitting over my bed, it's facing the light, so it's all gonna grow in this direction. And 2, my main goal when I got this plant was I really wanted the big leaves to kind of like hang over my bed. I just thought the idea of kind of being covered in leaves would be like kind of cool. I don't know, just some tropical indoor jungle, whatever thing, you know. So yeah, I've had this Monstera for about 2 years, and with the pieces that I groomed off, I actually water propagated them, and I have some in the kitchen. I put one outside, and I gave one to my mom. Some of the water propagation didn't go that well. One of them went kind of crazy. I'm gonna show you that one. That one's gonna be in the kitchen, but yeah, this one has been through a lot. I would say it's arguably my most favorite plant, also because it's just been listening to me, and it's been thriving and doing well. So thank you, buddy, even though you're a little dusty. That's my fault. This right here is a kind of newish addition to my room. This is my little golden pothos. It's not really golden because it's kind of far away from the window. Actually, it's very far away from the window. It's like on the other side of my room. I made a lot of water propagated pothos from the mother plant that's in the kitchen. Everything else is outside. Will show you. I'll get to it later, okay? The idea here was I had this light in my room, and an IKEA I'm not sure if I have the image, I probably don't, but basically they had these pendant light things and they tied fake trailing plants to it. And I thought that was such a cool idea, and I was like, I want to do that with like real plants. So this new leaf is probably the most growth that it's gone since I planted it, maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago. But it's growing some new leaves here at the bottom, so I know it's doing well, at least it's thriving. And I'm not too worried about the very, oh, you need water. But I'm not, sorry, yeah, you need water. Yeah, I'm not too worried that I lost some of the coloration of the leaves, because in general, the focus is just have it climb all the way up and just make it look really neat. I know it's gonna have a hard time climbing up the light because it doesn't really have anything to cling onto. I'm kind of just forcing it to grow up, but I think it will look cool once it's all said and done. And I got little lights. Can you see it on camera? Wait. The other pothos that I have in my room are these little water propagated ones. So there's one in this jar right here, and that one actually has a new leaf as well. And I also got this little propagation station from Marlena for Christmas. This is mostly where I grow all my pothos now, and there's actually a couple of new leaves coming out of it. I know that the roots are really, really bad. Just don't look at those, but in general, it's thriving. So I think it looks pretty great, and I think it just adds another extra thing to the shelf because these are really, really skinny shelves, so I don't have much space to put a full-size plant on there. So I think doing water propagations would be perfect to just fit on here. Oh, I had my suction cup there on the whole time. How ghetto, revealing myself. So those are all the plants in my room. Now we're gonna go to the living room. These are our huge, giant fiddle leaf figs. Like, I'll stand right next to it. You can see it's taller than me. Taller than me. I'm also just a really short guy, but you know what? Let's just not talk about that for a second. So these two fiddle leaf figs belong to my roommates Marlena and Elena. They saw these at Costco, and I think they weren't even that much, but yeah, they're freaking huge. So we got 2 of them, so they look really nice right here in the living room. When they first got here, there was so much fertilizer in it, and the soil was just so wet. I had to repot both of them. So now they're in big plastic pots. They're not in the grow pots anymore. Now they're struggling a little bit, but I think they're doing okay. But I know that if I had left them in the original grow pots where they were just getting all that fertilizer and just having all that water sit at the bottom of the pot, like they just would have. So they're doing all right. For right now, I just saved its life and it's going through a little rehab right now. I need to invest in a tripod because I'm just putting my suction cup anywhere that I can fit it and just hope that it doesn't fall in the couple of seconds that I'm talking. So right here I have my Monstera Deliciosa. This is like a little entryway shelf table thing at the front door. This was actually 2 cuttings. This one was by itself, and then this guy right here had 2 leaves, but it recently rotted off, and I'm not sure if you guys can see, but right here, the little black line was supposed to be a new leaf, and it's, I think it's rotting again. So I don't know what's wrong with it. The soil's dry. Anytime a new leaf comes off of the mother plant, it's usually this bright green, and then eventually it fades into this dark green. It stayed this bright green for maybe a month, so I'm not sure if that's a good thing either, or if I just stunted its growth. But it's not yellow, at least not yet. So we're gonna live with that. Also, have another fiddle leaf fig. This one has basically only new leaves because the rest of it pretty much died. I think this one belonged to Elena first. Kind of the same thing with hers, like with Marlena's. It didn't do so well at the beginning. And I said, let me try to put it through rehab. Left it alone for like a week or 2, and then I gave it like a splash of water, and then it grew new leaves. So I guess I have a green thumb, I don't know, but I consider this one mine too, because I'm taking care of it. But because it's such a small little plant, like I only water this maybe once a month because it's not really that thirsty, and the water stays in the soil for a pretty long time. So this one's also sitting on the floor next to the front door. But yeah, that one stays right there underneath our entryway table at the front door. It doesn't get too much light. Sometimes I do have to rotate it because it looks like it leans, but in the morning the light comes through the front door, so that's pretty nice. Our living room doesn't get that much light, but I think that's why it's pretty good that I have fiddle leaf figs or like this Monstera, because they do pretty well in the shade. So I think the lack of like harsh sunlight in here is pretty ideal for plants that can tolerate indoor living. That's the key thing though. When you look online and they say tolerant plants, that doesn't mean they're gonna thrive in low light situations. So you can have a monstera in a low light situation, but if you have like in brighter light, like the one in my room, the leaves are gonna get a lot bigger, it's gonna grow a lot faster. Same thing with fiddle leaf figs. A lot of people think that they're meant only for indoors, and they're really not, because there's a lot of places you can go to where fiddle leaf figs are outdoors and they're in full sun. Obviously they acclimated to the conditions that it's living in. But yeah, if anything, keeping fiddle leaf figs inside is probably a safer option. One, because they're very expensive. They're kind of like a very hot plant, kind of like the Monstera deliciosa. Everybody really wants a fiddle leaf fig just because of like the huge sculptural aspect to it, and it just stands very tall, so it just looks really cool. They're very expensive, so you wouldn't want to kill it. So keeping it inside, probably the better idea. But let's go into the kitchen, dining room area kind of thing, because there's some small little plants over there I want to show you too. Okay, I might be too tall for this shot for once, but I'm just gonna slum down a little bit so you guys can see me. So these are our little succulent cacti that we have right here on our dining room table. It's not the best situation, not the most ideal place to have succulents indoors, and I'll tell you why. If you see this little arrangement right here, this guy is just getting so leggy and its little rosettes are just not there. One of them even died. And there's no drainage holes, but it's not because of that. I know it's because it wasn't getting a lot of sun. A lot of my succulents that I grow are outside in the backyard, but you can see like it just wasn't doing that well, and it's been leggy and it looks gross. This one too, like this is stacking crassula. I don't know the names of my succulents. This one I can get away with because it's supposed to look nice and tall, but this little guy in the back isn't doing well either. Both of these are in little pots that Marlena owns, and I just chose a bunch of random succulents when I was redoing my backyard to just put in the pots, so I thought it'd be cute to put in there. This is a little Christmas cactus, I think is what it's called. This one belongs to Elena. I don't know so much about the care of this kind of cactus because this one, which is also Elena, she just recently bought this, it's full of water inside, so you don't need to water as much. Whereas with this, like it's so limpy and lanky and skinny, like I don't know if I'm supposed to water it or not. I do try to water it maybe like once a week with the rest of my plants. I do a watering schedule every Wednesday, which is actually tomorrow, but I don't know, I just feel like it always looks like this, and I don't know if it's actually healthy, if it's growing or not, but it's not dead, so I guess that's good news too. But aside from these succulents, I will show you the other succulents that we have in our kitchen. Those ones are doing a little bit better, but you know how this is going. But this is where most of the plants live in my house. This is a south-facing window that's in our kitchen. That's actually over our sink. Originally, it didn't have this big bar above. It's actually just a paint pole and a shower rod that I duct taped together. So this right here is just a painter's pole and a shower curtain rod just duct taped together. And I just have it sitting on top of the cabinet so I can hang these plants. So I just did this maybe like a month ago, maybe like a month or two ago. I made the hooks out of wire hangers from the costumes that I get from work. So, you know, I was just using my resources. When you're in quarantine, you just start being more creative. I made all of these macrame hangers. This one has my main golden pothos, and it's doing okay also. You can see here, like the leaves get really big and now they're getting really small. And I think it's because during this time period, like the season was changing, so a lot of the sun was coming directly into the house. And now that it's not only tucked down here, but there's no more direct sunlight coming into the house, I think the leaves are getting a little smaller. So I'm not too worried about it because this plant has been pretty resilient through everything and all the cutting, and I've repotted it like 3 or 4 times, so it's been through a lot. This is one of my jade plants. This was recently outside, but I just wanted to put one inside because I thought it just needed to fill this gap, because originally it was only 2 planters, and I was like, no, like if we're gonna do a hanging plant thing, it's gotta look full. This one actually belongs to Elena, and I actually just recently turned it around because it was doing fine, but I realized that all the leaves were facing outside, so it didn't really look nice from this angle, so I turned it around so hopefully it would grow a little bit more evenly. And then for Christmas, I made Mar this hanger, and I got her this snake plant in there. All right, let me just get the elephant in the room out of the way, because this guy, okay, this is like one of the first Monstera cuttings that I've done, and if you can see right here, this is what happens when you don't take your cuttings out and you just let them live in this jar. This thing is so root bound, I can't even get it out of the jar. I think I will either just force it out because it's starting to yellow, so I'm not sure if I should really care for it. I change the water all the time, but I think some of the roots are rotting in there. But yeah, I haven't decided yet if I want to keep this one because, I mean, the leaves look really nice. It looks good in that corner. Actually, I think, oh, you know what? The one that's right there at the entryway was actually cut from this because it was kind of getting crazy sticking out and it was growing in all weird directions. So I kind of wanted to maintain this little aesthetic and just keep it in this corner. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with it. I will probably do that soon though because I am just getting so tired of it. Hiding right here, I have a little orchid. It's probably not going to do well, but you know what? Oh, you know what? Wait, it's like budding a little bit. Okay, that's something. This one belonged to Elena, and she didn't want to do anything with it. I think that was a story. So I was like, I'll take care of it. And she's like, but it's dead. I was like, no, it's not. It's only an orchid bark. So I have just been watering it every week. Like I said, I water every Wednesday for all my plants, and it's been doing fine. But we keep it in the back because no one likes to see it apparently. But I still love you. This Pelia peperomioides, I think that's how you say it, was a gift from Cassie for my birthday. It was a different color. Originally it was like this blue color, but I just recently painted it white. I just thought it looked pretty in the white. I loved the blue, but I don't know. I was bored and quarantined. This one's been doing okay, but it just acts kind of like a sometimes because it will always want water, but then it'll think it's too much, and then it'll start dropping its leaves, and then it'll grow all crooked, and then it also has these two little babies in here that it's trying to take care of, and just, I don't know, it's doing okay, but I keep it right here, just keep an eye on it. The bulk of the windowsill is succulents, so I'm just gonna quickly go through them and just quickly talk about them. This guy, dead, basically dead, but he's growing like 2 more leaves, so we're hoping that he's gonna live. But right now, dead. This is a little echeveria. It has a little shoot coming out from the side, but I wouldn't say dead, but like the soil, like look at this. Yeah, that's not healthy. So we're gonna work on that too. This is Crassula platyphylla, so like a platypus, I guess. I don't know, but it has like these paddle-looking kind of things. And this one recently got overwatered, and I just left it alone, and now it's thriving again. So I'm just gonna leave it alone still. I think this is another echeveria, and they're not doing well because I think the size of the container is really stunting their growth. It's really chunky. It has some dead leaves, and just take this off. And the soil is also like that. So, you know, I just need to repot these succulents, but I just don't want to touch them because sometimes they're just so picky. Here's another one that was originally planted with the ones on the table. You can just see it just super duper leggy and just, yeah, you know what? It's just, I don't know. Succulents are just very interesting, and that's actually how I started off. I got a succulent from my friend Selena, and it was in a little corgi pot thing that's out in the backyard, and from there that's where I started really getting into plants. But succulents, I don't know, they're just kind of tricky, especially indoors. Even though a lot of people grow them indoors and say they're really easy, they just get really leggy. Like this guy, except this one kind of has like really, really pretty rosettes, and it has a bunch of babies, so I think it's doing well, but should probably cut back the head so we can keep it nice and compact. This one right here was just, it came as a hot mess. You can see like it got cut right here, and it's super leggy, and like there's other random succulent right here in the back. But this one belongs to Marlena. Actually, all the ones that I just recently showed you all belong to Marlena and Elena. But I've just been keeping an eye on them just to help them live. But this one has like nice plump leaves, so it feels like it's alive. And I think now that it can actually reach the sun, because it was dug so low into the pot, that's why the rosettes are getting a little tighter. So I still have hope for this, but definitely needs a lot more grooming. All right, so now I'm gonna show you the succulents that I personally own. And they're in these cute little owl pots that my roommate Rolla gave to me. So there's that one, it's like a little zebra. I don't think it's a zebra plant because it doesn't have the stripes, but it's of that type. But yeah, there's that little guy, super cute. I have these 2 sedums right here, which are getting a little leggy, and they were leggy to begin with, but I kind of wanted something with height. But they are leaning left and right and all over the place to get to the sun. So I've been rotating them almost every single day. Right here we have a moonstone, and I kind of liked how the color looks against this pot. This one is doing fine as well. It's not as leggy, but they are leaning. This one right here is an Aeonium kiwi, I believe. It's kind of weird because I put it in the pot in the very center, and for whatever reason, it like leaned all the way to the back. I'm not sure exactly how that happened, and it was a much bigger rosette before too, but it's shrunken down. That's kind of what happens when you transplant or when you behead succulents anyway. but I think they're not in the growing season, so it's not as brightly colored as it could have been, and it's not going to grow as much as it could. Then I also have this, I think it's a topsy-turvy echeveria. This one was cute. It was like her own little crown thing going on. Out of all of them, this was the only one I actually beheaded. It's growing roots and it's shrunken down its size just as I expected it to. But I'm hoping that once I water it, it will be, ooh, did I just break a leaf off? No, I didn't. But hopefully once I give it a lot more water, now that it has roots, it'll be able to like reestablish itself. You can also see we have these little cups with avocado seeds in it. And I just recently found out that avocados take like a month or two to even show any signs of growth. So they've been chilling in there. We ran out of toothpicks, so we're using little cocktail umbrellas. And then we also are growing some green onions, which don't look that great because we don't eat enough green onions to catch up to their growth. And then this tall boy right here, ooh, you are strong. This is one of the sunflowers that I grew. I think I planted the sunflower the same time I planted the other ones outside, which was before the video that I made. But if you haven't seen that video, I'll put the link for that one in the description or in the card up above. But this one was doing fine because it was getting that direct sun, just kind of like how this one was doing fine before. But now that the sun's kind of moved over on top of the house, it's grown very, very tall. And I don't know if it's gonna end up just hitting the top of the window or if I should move it around and maybe see if it reaches the top of the ceiling. But that is my sunflower. And is that all the plants I have inside here? Wow, that was all the plants. Wow. Whew, okay. Wow, that was a lot of talking. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you want to check out more content that I will have in the future, I do a lot of planter videos and hopefully more gardening videos and just hopefully more other videos in general. I do still plan on getting a Switch eventually when they restock, so maybe I'll do some Animal Crossing videos and stuff like that because I've been designing maps. I know you guys have heard me say that a lot, but I am still designing maps for people online. If you want to check that out, go to my Twitter. I also really need to work on slowing down when I talk because I know in general I talk really, really fast and sometimes I get tripped up over my words, but I usually just take it slow, just chill. Yeah. But I really want to hear from you guys, so let me know in the comments below which was one of your favorite plants or which plants that you have or any growing tips or any tips that you have for me because I'm still pretty much a novice at this and I don't really know too much about plants. But you know what, like this plant community and people that talk about plants, like it's all love, it's all sharing information, it's all sharing experiences about it. So I think that's pretty awesome and I just wanted to share a little bit of that part of my life with you. So thank you again. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.